Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So in today's video, like the thumbnail shows, we're going to be taking a look at the tropical development that will be possible, as well as some of the intense storms that will be possible throughout the plains here. So anyways, let's get on to that. So, as I noted, the intense storms that will be possible throughout the plains here today, we have an enhanced risk of severe weather over Nebraska today, a tornado risk of 2%, going from southern South Dakota all the way into northern Nebraska here, north central Nebraska, then portions of the upper peninsula of Michigan into northern Wisconsin and northeastern Minnesota. We have wind risk here, intense wind possible, 75 mile per hour plus wind chance here, 30% chance here. Then we got the 15% chance going from northern Kansas all the way into the upper peninsula of Michigan, as well as 15% here in Wyoming, as well as for the Salt Lake City area here. So let's go on to the hail threat. We can see there's a long corridor here of hail that will be possible from Nebraska all the way into the upper peninsula of Michigan, and then a larger 5% risk going from the Great Lakes region all the way into Idaho, portions of Idaho. Now, let's look at the day 2 outlook for tomorrow here. The day 2 outlook for tomorrow, we can see we have two separate slight risks for severe weather. One over here in Colorado, Wyoming area, and then the other one over here in the Great Lakes region, closer to around the Chicago area. Now, let's look at the different threats. Tornado threat. We do have a 2% tornado threat for the Chicago area, as well as a 2% tornado threat for areas in Colorado and Wyoming. So, if we turn on major cities here, we can see some major cities in these tornado threats: Chicago, Milwaukee, Green Bay, and Peoria. And then for the western one, Cheyenne, Denver, and Pueblo. Alright, now let's go on to the Weather Prediction Center here. We can see the risk of severe weather under here. I don't know how well you can see that because it's under the flood risk for today, which will also be in the plains here. But the severe weather risk there, as well as here and here. But most of the nation will be dealing, or should be dealing, with thunderstorms today, as there's a lot of storm activity here. Threats for flooding in Virginia, Florida, Texas here in southwestern Texas, and portions of Arizona, as well as in the plains here up into the Great Lakes. And we also do have some critical fire weather possible in Nevada and Utah. By the way, this is valid from 8 a.m. Eastern Time today till 8 a.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. And day 2, which is 8 a.m. Eastern Time tomorrow till 8 a.m. Eastern Time on the 17th. Another risk of flooding here for the plains, as well as those risks of severe weather we noted here, one there and one there. Then another risk of flooding for the mid-Atlantic here. So now also most of the nation should be dealing with thunderstorms here. So most of the nation, that's a considerable amount, because the only areas not seeing thunderstorm activity are here in Texas here, eastern Texas, as well as the West Coast. Now, the Climate Prediction Center here. We can see this is valid from July 20th through the 24th. So, very high chance of above normal temperatures here for portions of into the southern plains, into the southeast there, and into the Tennessee Valley, as well as below average temperatures for Montana, and as well as portions of the coast of California. Now, the precipitation outlook, we can have above average precipitation for most of the northwest and generally the east of the nation. Then below average temperatures for generally like the southwest, desert southwest areas up into Nevada and Utah there. Now, Climate Prediction Center 8 to 14 day, this will be from the 22nd to the 28th. We can see most of the nation here above average, especially that area again from the southern plains into the Ohio Valley areas in there. And then the only areas that will be below normal will be this coastal California area here. So, now let's move on to the precipitation. By the way, this is valid from July 22nd to the 28th. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. But same thing, above average precipitation possible from the northwest all the way down into the southeast and just the east in general. And same thing here, dry areas from the desert southwest all the way up into the Salt Lake City area as well as up into Nevada there. Now, let's take a look at the National Hurricane Center. It's been a while since we've taken a look at that, but you can see here the development possibility here in the Gulf of America here. Let's see. So 40% through 2 days and 40% through 7 days. So there's a 40% chance within 2 days that this will develop into a tropical system here. Something like a tropical storm or a tropical depression. So let's keep an eye on that if you live in those areas, especially areas in Florida. So it is currently moving over Florida right now. So let's take a look at the satellite imagery for this storm here. As you can see, credit to Weatherwise for letting me use their products in my videos. Thank you to them, and credit to them for these images here. You could see that system over here moving over into the Gulf of America. So now let's see. So now up here in the northeast there is heat advisories. I'm just looking around the map to see, what other stuff we got going on here. Looks like a majority of the strong storm activity is concentrated in the North Carolina, East Tennessee area here, as well as southern Kentucky. We do have some strong storms here. Strong storms possible here, I guess. I would not say that we could see some severe activity outside of these areas up here, but there is a few strong storms out here. I don't know if they will turn severe, but just keep an eye on those if you live in those areas, as well as in southern Florida here, as things associated with this tropical system. They are moving along with it. So yeah, let's look at the National Weather Service Watch Warning Advisory display. We do have air quality alerts in effect for areas like Chicago, eastern Michigan here, northern Minnesota, as well as portions in the northeast in here. Then we do have heat advisories for the south. I believe those are as well heat advisories out here for the west, and then some fire weather alerts, as well as some heat advisories for the northeast. So we got a lot going on in the nation at this time. Storm Prediction Center, they do have a mesoscale discussion right now. Storm coverage will increase through the afternoon with strong to damaging wind gusts. Now this is for portions of Minnesota into northern Wisconsin here. The watch probability is 60%, so I think that is watch possible here. Max hail would be peak intensity up to 1.75 inches, and the tornado peak intensity would be up to greater than or lesser than or equal to 95 miles per hour winds, and wind up to 70 miles per hour is possible. Now the day 3 to 7 U.S. hazards outlook. We can see the eastern portion of the states here are dealing with some heat, and then the western portions are dealing with droughts. So there is some drought alerts, or not alerts, but like drought outlook here. And then as well as heavy rain possible. So I'm kind of confused because this is heavy rain, but at the same time, there's also like drought thing in there, severe drought. And it's only like 1 day apart, so I'm a little bit confused at that, but I don't know. Anyways, thank you for watching today's video. If you haven't already, please subscribe. But one more thing before you go. I did post something about the 50 subscriber thing. If I get 50 subscribers, then I'll do the Weather Mythbuster series, like a little mini series. But anyways, you should check out EpicPen. You can get the free version, or you can get it for $2 a month with fading ink, as well as extra colors, on-screen text, lines, circles, squares, and arrows, and then whiteboard and blackboard, and also extra colors. I think I might have already mentioned that. But anyways, thank you for watching today's video. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye.